A fresh wave of royal controversy is erupting around Prince Andrew, with explosive claims about his behavior, past remarks, and fractured family ties now back in the spotlight. At the center of it all, a pattern. For years, reports have suggested Andrew struggled to maintain relationships within the royal family, with tensions often linked not just to his controversies, including his widely reported ties to Jeffrey Epstein, but also to the way he allegedly spoke to those closest to him. One of the most shocking accounts comes from Tina Brown in her book, The Palace Papers. According to Brown, during a meeting at Royal Lodge, Andrew allegedly walked into a room where his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson was speaking with a business associate and bluntly said, "What are you doing with this fat cow?" The moment, as described, left the room stunned. Brown's source claimed Ferguson appeared afraid, while the guest was reportedly shocked into silence. And yet, despite moments like this, the two continued living under the same roof long after their divorce. Brown points to what she calls a mutual arrangement, writing that Andrew would bail her out when she's in trouble, while Ferguson would stand by him when scandal hit. A controversial partnership that for years held firm. But that dynamic has now shifted. Reports indicate the pair were eventually forced out of Royal Lodge, with their paths now diverging, Ferguson largely out of the public eye, and Andrew facing ongoing scrutiny and investigation. And the tension doesn't stop there. A while ago, Andrew Lowney, in his book entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York, alleged Andrew made rude and unkind remarks about Catherine, Princess of Wales, comments that reportedly left Prince William furious. Lowney even questioned the motive behind such remarks, noting that Catherine has often been viewed as a stabilizing force within the royal family, and according to his sources, that moment may have been a breaking point. Because the fallout, it seems, runs deeper. Lowney claims William's resentment toward Andrew was already simmering, but escalated sharply after the alleged comments about his wife, and the tension reportedly extended beyond Andrew. Sources cited in the book suggest William also held negative views about Sarah Ferguson, despite her long-standing presence in royal circles. One claim goes even further, suggesting William intended to remove both Andrew and Ferguson from Royal Lodge once he becomes king, a scenario that, in part, has already played out. So now, a picture emerges, not just of scandal, but of strained relationships, alleged insults, and deepening divides inside one of the world's most scrutinized families.
King Charles is once again facing scrutiny over his handling of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's future, as the Times reports that the monarch may now be forced into an uncomfortable U-turn over his brother's housing arrangements. Following former Prince Andrew's dramatic fall from royal favor due to his association with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, allegations he has consistently denied, the king has been quietly reshaping Andrew's role and residence within the royal fold. According to royal sources cited by the Times, Andrew is expected to vacate Royal Lodge, the sprawling 30-room mansion in Berkshire that has long symbolized his senior royal status. The move represents a sharp downgrade, with the disgraced former Duke of York instructed to relocate to the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, traditionally a private retreat for the monarch. As per the report, Andrew was initially earmarked for temporary accommodation while a property known as Marsh Farm underwent renovations. The 5-bedroom former farmhouse, reportedly selected by King Charles himself, sits on swampy land below sea level, a detail that has immediately raised concerns about both practicality and security. Marsh Farm reportedly requires a huge security overhaul before it can be deemed suitable for a high-profile royal figure. As per the report, builders have been seen installing secure gates and advanced alarm systems, while engineers have been preparing communications infrastructure. Yet insiders question whether the farmhouse can ever meet the required safety standards. Adding to the complications, the Daily Mail reports that pest control officers were recently spotted at the property amid claims of a mole problem within the grounds. The revelation has fueled doubts among royal insiders, with some reportedly questioning whether Marsh Farm is appropriate accommodation at all for someone of Andrew's profile. Andrew himself is said to be deeply unhappy with the arrangement. Speaking to the Daily Mail, a source claimed the former Duke was appalled after visiting Marsh Farm for the first time, describing the 5-bedroom property as poky and noting that he has not lived anywhere that small since leaving his apartment at Buckingham Palace. Despite his dissatisfaction, Andrew is slowly coming to terms with the reality of his situation, claims the source. Another source, quoted by the Times, said that while he was unimpressed by the property, he is now resigned to the fact that this is his future and has concluded that he must get on with the rest of his life and make the best of it. Staffing has also emerged as a major sticking point. Marsh Farm reportedly does not allow for live-in staff, a significant departure from Andrew's former royal lifestyle. In response, King Charles has reportedly offered Andrew the ad hoc use of staff from Sandringham House, a compromise that still represents a notable reduction in privilege. With security costs escalating, pest issues unresolved, and Andrew's unhappiness becoming increasingly apparent, the report suggests that the king may now be forced to relent and identify an alternative property for his brother on the Sandringham estate. Buckingham Palace has declined to comment, but as multiple outlets note, the unfolding housing saga highlights the lasting consequences of Andrew's fall from grace and the delicate balance King Charles must strike between enforcing accountability and managing one of the monarchy's most enduring internal crises.